Are we? There we are.
Let me check this here. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, patriots and freedom-loving Americans, welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative.
And I'm Brendan Statler from the Brendan Statler Show.
Oh, wait. Okay. Today, on this solemn occasion, we gather to honor the brave souls who made the ultimate sacrifice of our great nation. Memorial Day, originally known as Decoration Day, holds a sacred place in our hearts. It's not just a long weekend or an excuse for a barbecue and beach trips. No, my friends, it's much more. It's a day to remember, reflect, recommit ourselves to the principles that define America. Let's rewind the clock to the aftermath of the Civil War. The spring of 1865 saw the end of the conflict that claimed more lives than any other in U.S. history. The following soldiers are brothers, fathers, sons, deserve more than mere words. They deserved honor, reverence, and remembrance. And so, in towns and cities across the land, Americans began holding springtime tributes. They decorated graves with flowers, recited prayers, and paid homage to those who gave everything for freedom. But where did the tradition truly begin? Some say it was in Charleston, South Carolina, where formerly enslaved people organized one of the earliest Memorial Day commemorations less than a month after the Confederacy surrendered. Others pointed to Waterloo, New York, which celebrated the days on May 5th, 1866. Waterloo, New York, with its annual community-wide event, became the official birthplace of Memorial Day. General John A. Logan, leader of the Northern Civil War veterans, declared May 30th, 1868 as a nationwide day of remembrance. He called it Decoration Day. A time, true flowers. They put them on the graves of comrades who died in the defense of their country. It wasn't tied to any specific battle anniversary. It was about honoring all those who served. And so on the first Decoration Day, General James Garfield stood at Arlington National Cemetery surrounded by 20,000 Civil War soldiers, their graves. 5,000 participants joined him, their hearts heavy with gratitude and grief. So let's fast forward to today. Memorial Day is etched in our national fabric. It's a day to visit cemeteries, lay wreaths, and salute Old Glory. It's a day to teach our children about sacrifice, duty, and love of country. But let's not forget the present challenges. Our nation faces new battles against division, against those who would rewrite our history, against those who undermine the very essence of America. So, my fellow Americans, I hope you fired up the grills and enjoyed the sunshine. You also remember the fallen. That's another legacy by defending liberty, upholding our Constitution, and standing strong against all threats, even the ones that are coming from within our government today. This Memorial Day, let us be more than spectators. Let us be stewards of freedom. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you for joining us on the Conservative Viewpoint. I hope you guys had a great Memorial Day. Sad to see it end so soon, but back to reality tomorrow. Back to work it goes. So begin today. I ask you again, like always, check out our Rumble pages. Mine is Country Conservative, and Brendan's in the Brendan Statler Show. Check out our videos, share them with your friends, your family, even those liberal ones that you still talk to them. They're the ones that need it the most. They need the truth to wake their asses up and see that this country is being destroyed from within our own government. Don't forget to leave us some comments, good or bad. Even the bad ones help us improve our show. Give us that thumbs up or whatever it is, wherever you guys are tuning in from. So let's waste no time. Let's get on with the show. What's going on, Brendan?
Well, it appears that Joe Biden fell asleep at the uh, Memorial Day event that he was attending with many others in his cabinet.
Say it ain't so.
I know that's shocking to many people watching. I'm sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie. Wasn't it just a few weeks ago that the media was all over Trump for supposedly falling asleep in court?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that they're going to have the same reaction to Biden falling asleep during
Oh
the
no, hell
Memorial
no.
Day
It's just
service?
he was just wiping his eyes. He wasn't sleeping.
Yeah, for a very long time. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we have the video for you guys right here. Let's see if I could play it. If not, Charlie, you might have to step in. I don't know yet. Yeah, you're gonna have to click that. Looks like.
Rise and shine, Sleepy Joe, now's the time, don't you know, to get into a new kind of dream. You've been living alone with no bell telephone, and you don't have a shed that is clean. You can rest your head on the corner of your bed, you can watch the world go by. But you're never gonna see what the other people see if you're always gonna be a Sleepy Joe. Rise and shine, Sleepy Joe, there are places to go, there are windows to clean on the way. You've got nothing to lose but a shine on your shoes, do the best things you can every day. You can get upset at the way that people get, you can turn your back on the crowd, but you're never gonna see what is absolutely real if you're always gonna be a Sleepy Joe. La 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 la.
Gone on longer than I thought it did. Funny though.
God, that's hilarious.
But this shouldn't be a surprise. This is the same man that checked his watch during the dignified transfer for the 13 soldiers that were killed because of his disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan. In case you need a reminder, here, let's play that real quick.
Sergeant Nicole G., who was one of the 2 female Marines who were killed among the 13, she was the one who posted that Instagram.
Oh my God.
It freeze?
I don't know what happened to it. It shouldn't have froze.
Yeah, the other one worked just fine. But anyway, everybody remembers when he checked his watch. So at some point you just have to ask, do the Biden voters or the anti-Trump voters, because there's no such thing as a true Biden voter, if we're being honest, do they truly hate America? Because I don't know how anybody could continue to support this man. I mean, this should have been the last straw with this. And he wasn't even a year into his illegitimate first term yet. And hope, God willing, his last one. This is pretty early on his time in office. And people still continue to support him. Not very many, but there are some out there. So it does beg the question, do these people really hate America? Because I'm telling you, if everybody knows what a big supporter of Donald Trump I am, if Donald Trump did this same thing, I would not support him anymore. If you cannot respect our military, particularly soldiers that died defending our freedom, that is the ultimate disrespect of this country. I can't support anybody that does that. It's just, it's despicable. And here he is falling asleep today at the Memorial Day event that he was attending. It's just that this guy is the biggest piece of human excrement we have ever had in the White House.
No doubt. Now, we're going to start off with the history of Memorial Day and remembering those that we honor on this great day. First off, if you guys have anyone who you would like to mention, please leave their names in chat or in the comment sections, and we will post them on screen so people can acknowledge and honor them for fighting and protecting this country and our rights that we are allowed by the Constitution because of them. So I want you to watch this video here of the history of Memorial Day. Take a look at this.
Today on the Daily Dose, the history of Memorial Day. Ending in the spring of 1865, the Civil War claimed more lives than any conflict in American history, approximately 620,000, necessitating the establishment of the country's first national cemeteries. By the late 1860s, Americans in various towns and cities had begun holding springtime tributes to these countless fallen heroes, decorating their graves with flowers and reciting prayers in their honor. Historical records indicate that one of the earliest Memorial Day commemorations was organized by a group of freed slaves in Charleston, South Carolina, less than a month after the Confederacy surrendered. While on May the 5th, 1868, General John A. Logan, leader of an organization for Northern Civil War veterans, called for a nationwide day of remembrance later that month. On the first Decoration Day, as Memorial Day was originally known, General James Garfield made a speech at Arlington National Cemetery before 5,000 participants decorated the graves of some 20,000 Civil War dead. For decades, Memorial Day continued to be observed on May 30th, the date Logan had selected for the first Decoration Day. But in 1968, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which established Memorial Day as the last Monday in May in order to create a 3-day weekend for federal employees, which went into effect in 1971. In 1966, the federal government declared Waterloo, New York, the official birthplace of Memorial Day.
Now, it's so important that we honor every and all men and women who fought and died for this country, because the administration now is trying to erase our history, and we can't allow this to happen. This is why Brendan and I do these videos, to get the truth out to you guys and about this administration and the fake news media that are trying to cover the truth up. Now, in a couple articles, we'll go over things that the Biden administration are doing today, trying to hide our history and to let these woke ass people in this country destroy our history by tearing down statues, everything. So when this fake ass dude is sleeping during Memorial Day, and you know he doesn't care, checking his watch, like Brendan said, checking his watch during memorial services for the 13 soldiers, which I have some stuff about that later. He don't care about anything that goes on here.
No, absolutely not. And you look at this, just how screwed up can you really be? I mean, politics aside, if I was in that position, and even if I thought I did everything the right way, I certainly would have done it much different than what Biden did if I were president. But if I made a decision and just one would be bad enough, one of our soldiers got killed or hurt, man, that would bother me. Like, how does that not bother him at all? I mean, this is the guy that we're at least supposed to believe is the president. We all know he's not.
Mm-hmm.
But just how could somebody live here their whole life and do something like that? I mean, that's just sickening to me more than anything. That's why I say I don't know how anybody continued to support this guy after this. Like I said, it's a very small number. It's probably only around 40 million people in this country that still support Biden or just oppose Trump, because, like I said, there's no true Joe Biden supporter. But I mean, it's just, how could that not be the last straw for you, unless you just truly hate America, like I said earlier? Because that would bother me if I was in that position. I was president and I made a decision, and any of our soldiers got harmed because of it. That's just, I don't know how somebody could do that and check their watch when the caskets are being unloaded.
No kidding. Now I know you have another article there and a video you want to go.
Just a video. I wanted to play this video for you guys. I didn't make this. I found this somewhere. I thought it was a very nice video. I'll just play it for you guys because me describing it's not going to do it any justice. So let's just go ahead and play it.
Some time back, I received in the name of our country the bodies of 4 Marines who had died while on active duty. I said then that there is a special sadness that accompanies the death of a serviceman, for we're never quite good enough to them. Not really, we can't be, because what they gave us is beyond our powers to repay. And so when a serviceman dies, it's a tear in the fabric, a break in the whole, and all we can do is remember. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise. We see them as something like the founding fathers, grave and gray-haired. But most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up 2 lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. We owe them a debt we can never repay. All we can do is remember them and what they did and why they had to be brave for us.
Now, Ronald Reagan was a great man. And just so happens that I have a few quotes here from people in history that I kind of thought was shooting on this Memorial Day. And so happens to be the first one is from Ronald Reagan. First freedom is never more than 1 generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. That is a perfect quote from Ronald Reagan.
Absolutely.
This one comes from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Those who gave long enjoyed such privileges as we enjoy forget in time that men have died to win them. And that is exactly what this Memorial Day is about. Now, another one from Ronald Reagan. Some people live an entire lifetime and wonder if they have ever made a difference in the world. It better and in the world, it make it better. And a veteran does not have that problem. These were some of just 3 out of many that I could have read to you today, but I thought these were fitting, and I just wanted you to hear some of them. Now, this article comes from Real Clear Politics. Now, Democrats have broken America. But where is the outrage? We don't hear it at all. Now, first, I'm going to let you watch this video so you guys can remember what life has been like under Joe Biden's regime since he was installed into the White House. So take a look at this.
Whatever the hell they want. I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit.
He's an old guy, has dementia, can't lead us, and the country is screwed.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch.
Got fired.
His physical and mental condition are really quite concerning.
China is funding the U.S. fentanyl crisis.
All right, this is getting serious. Oh my goodness.
Violating Minnesota State Statute 609.50, obstructing the process, which will be a conditional crime.
Russia overnight launched its long-anticipated...
There was no way to leave Afghanistan without chaos. The Afghan army is 300,000 strong, doesn't have a military presence in Syria. Biden said he can't recall military officials suggesting he keep US's control of Kabul airport. No one is being killed in Kabul.
Now, if there are any liberals out there that can tell me how we benefited from anything from Biden and what he has done since he's been installed in here, let me know in chat, please. I'm willing to say I'm wrong if you could prove to me that we benefited from Joe Biden being installed into the White House.
There is one benefit I could think of, Charlie, actually, the more I think about it. This illegitimate regime has been such a shit show. It's opened so many eyes over the last few years. And that's why Trump's going to be reelected this election. And the MAGA movement's going to be in control for many years, I believe. We're going to be in control for many years. We're going to take this country back. And it took this shit show that we're going through now to wake people up. As pissed off as I get at what I see is going on every day, as pissed off as I am that it was so obvious they stole the election from Trump in 2020, I believe that all this had to happen in order for us to take this country back. I think that this was necessary to happen. I think this is the only way people were going to wake up. So that's the one positive thing I could say about Joe Biden and his illegitimate presidency.
Oh, yeah. The Democrats have been stomping on the constitutions for years.
Oh, yeah.
And their only steadfast commitment to this traditional ideals explains why conservatives are allowing Democrats to flagrantly corrupt our judicial system, to destroy their opponents and protect themselves. The lawlessness of the Democrat Party has nothing to do with American people. The only thing it has to do with is them keeping themselves in power, nothing else. So today on Memorial Day, as we celebrate the soldiers and the people who gave their lives for this country, as we watch Democrats stomp on the Constitution that they fought to protect, we must make a difference to protect their legacies and make sure that what they fought for is not in vain.
Absolutely, because right now it is. I mean, this, it's just amazing amazing in a sad way how different this country is compared to 4 years ago. I mean, it's just amazing how it's almost unrecognizable when you think about it. I mean, how crime is not only allowed in many of these Democrat-run cities, it's actually encouraged. I mean, Joe Biden put out a tweet yesterday because it was the four-year anniversary of the George Floyd overdose.
Yeah.
For people to, how do you word it exactly, act in his memory or something along these lines. Do you remember what acting in his memory looked like? It was cities burning from the Black Lives Matter thugs. And, so they encourage violence. And you have Kamala Harris that bailed these thugs out of jail when they were burning down cities. I mean, so this is the party that encourages anarchy and chaos. So you almost wonder how long is it going to take before these blue areas start voting red? Because I mean,
look at the Bronx.
They can't want to live around that every single day, can they? I mean, they have to recognize. I mean, you keep voting for the same people. Your neighborhood keeps getting worse and worse. At some point, you're going to wise up and you're going to vote for the other team. You would think, right? It's just amazing. But I want to take a moment to congratulate George Floyd on 4 years of sobriety. That's a big milestone.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how many people that pisses off.
Yeah, I don't care. I congratulate him. What do they celebrate for him? He's a freaking criminal. Now, this next one is a poll where most Americans think liberty has waned and rights will further diminish if we leave Democrats in power. We will lose every right of the Constitution that we are allowed. And this is something that we cannot let happen, because on this day, we are celebrating the people that fought and died for the Constitution. And that is what we have to protect at all costs. Now, across most groups, at least 60% of people indicated that they will be a net loss of liberties and freedoms and rights over the next decade if things continue on the path that they are. The only exceptions are Generation Z, Black Americans, and Latino Americans. But on the other hand, 3/4 or more of baby boomers, like 76% of white Americans, 75% of Republicans, and 77% indicate that Americans are likely to lose more individual self-determination than they will gain. So now I'm going to show you next video is what life was like under Donald Trump's presidency. Just to remind you here that there are some things that we benefited from when Trump was president.
Quite a few things.
Right. So I can only make it so long. So I'll show you some of what we benefited for. Take a look at this.
Who tonight is celebrating the new jobs report just out.
And what job numbers we had today. Did you hear? Did you hear?
1,000 jobs added in October. Wages rising at the fastest clip in nearly a decade.
America now has the best economy in the history of our country, and we want to keep it that way.
Why do you think during Trump there was no war, no conflict, and we were expecting to see World War III under him?
In Indiana, a knockdown, drag-out price war. $1.49 gas.
The unemployment number is down to 3.5%, so that goes way, way back. We haven't had numbers like this in a long time. Wages are up by almost 3%. That's a fantastic increase for everybody out there working.
Trump tax cut. Of those, less than 40% say it's improved their finances a great deal or a fair amount, which is...
A ceremony in Texas today commemorates 400 miles of new border wall constructed under President Trump.
I think he will be given credit by conservatives for lowering their taxes, of keeping the economy going full bore until COVID hit.
He has, in fact, carved back a whole host of regulations that Obama and his predecessors had put in place. He has, in fact, dramatically reduced the tax burden that high earners and corporations face. And he has, in fact, appointed lots of conservative justices to the judiciary.
He has no plans of slowing down. Tomorrow, we're expecting to learn a lot more about the president's tax reform plan and how to grow the economy. But despite the president moving at lightning speed, Democrats, they've done nothing but oppose him at every turn.
The one thing that has done fabulously well under the Trump administration is the stock market.
Now, this is only some of the things that we've benefited from under Donald Trump was in his office. And these are things that we will benefit more from when we get Trump elected back into office come November 5th. So please help us get Trump reelected back into the office so we don't lose this country to the corrupt Democrat Party.
Yeah, and the second Trump term is going to be even better because people got to think Trump really didn't know much about the Washington apparatus when he went in the first time. He didn't know who the good people were, who the bad people were, essentially. I mean, of course, he knew some of them, like Hillary Clinton and all them. But for the most part, really within the Republican Party, because the Republican Party are the ones that really screwed Trump's first term. Trump was still able to get a lot of stuff done, but the biggest mistake Trump made his first term was he trusted too many of the wrong people. He's not going to make that mistake this time. And Trump is going to get even more done than he got in his first term. It's this second term of Trump's is going to be amazing. That's why we have to go out and vote. Put him back in office. I mean, I think it's an easy decision. I mean, just look at that last video that Charlie played. This is Biden's America. What you saw, all the crime, all the illegal alien thugs. I couldn't think of a nicer word to call them. You see the Sharia supremacist terrorist, in just about every major college campus. This is Biden's America. That is what we're living through. I mean, can we really survive 4 more years of this? I don't think we can.
No, because in this next article I've got from The Hill, Biden is losing World War III. Yes, I said it, World War III. Because if you don't think that we are in World War III, you're nuts. Or you're liberals, you're an idiot.
Same thing, Charlie.
Well, that's true. We have Russia invading Ukraine. We got China on the doorsteps of Taiwan for no reason, only because Joe Biden's weakness. We have a Hamas terrorist attack on Israel. Why? Because they're Jews. It's plain and simple. They don't like Jews. They're racist pigs.
They're Nazis.
Right. Then you have Iran trying to attack Israel because Iran is a terrorist-run country. And this is so much more going on because of Joe Biden's weakness. And if we allow this to continue, we are going to be in an all-out ground war in our country. And this is something that we cannot do because this will tarnish the legacy that we are celebrating today on this Memorial Day of Remembrance. Because Joe Biden is stomping all over everything, just with his disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan, Hillary Clinton's bullshit in Benghazi, everything. And this is stuff that we cannot do. And we've got to stop it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, by the way, why has Hillary Clinton never been brought up on charges still for deleting all those emails?
Yeah, no kidding.
She got our soldiers killed, but let's go after Donald Trump over a freaking paperwork dispute. I mean, this is the clown show of the Democrat Party. It really is, and it is Republicans too. It's all of them.
It's some of them.
All of Washington D.C. is a freaking circus, and this should motivate everybody to vote for Trump because there is one thing that the deep state has in common: they hate Donald Trump. They do not want him in office. At some point, you got to ask yourself, why is that? Why is that? Because they have never done this against any other candidate, at least to my knowledge, definitely not in recent history. You have to ask yourself why that is. Why are they so afraid of him? That should motivate you to vote for Trump. I don't care what your party affiliation is, what your political views are. If we could all agree that both parties suck, the entire system is corrupt, I don't know how you don't vote for Donald Trump. I don't understand it.
Oh, no kidding. Because
they have never went after a candidate anywhere near to the extent that they are going after him.
Oh no. Now this next article comes from PolitiFact. Sorry. Today on Memorial Day, we are celebrating the men and women of our military who fought and died for this country because we have one of the most powerful militaries on this planet until today. Because of Joe Biden and the Democrats have weakened our military with the help of General Milley, trying to turn our military into this woke-ass, weak-ass political ideology by saying, They need to train in sensitivity training toward mental illness transgender people that are in the military. Now, isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard? Our military is a fighting force, not a bunch of pansy ass people sitting around pretending to be something they're not. And anyone that thinks that they should be doing this kind of bullshit training, yeah, you're part of the problem. And this is definitely not what the men and women that died for this country were protecting. They were protecting our Constitution, not some mental illness, crazy ass people that don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah, if you're, I don't think that transgenders should be allowed in the military at all, and that is exactly the reason why, because it is a mental illness. It's a mental delusion. They're delusional, like you just said. So how can you possibly trust these people to do anything in the military? The military of all things, Charlie. I mean, come on. Do you think countries like China or Russia or North Korea are doing this shit? Of course they're not, because they want a strong military. If you could go as far as to completely mutilate yourself, there's something seriously wrong with you in the head, and you have absolutely no business being anywhere near the military. The military is the one place. All this DEI bullshit needs to go away anyway, but the military especially. These people are supposed to be fighting to keep this country safe. We don't need to worry what your freaking pronouns are, or you identify as a freaking cat or whatever.
Yeah.
That the military is the absolute last place this stupid bullshit should be.
No doubt, because that brings us to this next point, because this comes from Newsmax. And I would never have thought that I would see the day that a so-called president of the United States would be bending over and taking one by the enemies and sending condolences to the country of the butcher of Tehran who died in a helicopter crash a few days ago. He is responsible for spilling American blood. And what does this weak-ass so-called president do? Sends condolences to our enemy, allowing terrorists from that country to cross into our country at the southern border. Now, if you don't think, if you don't think people are crossing this border are normal, watch this Turkish man that they interviewed at the southern border telling us that these people that are crossing are not normal. And it seems to me that he is telling us that not good people are crossing the border that came in with him. Take a look at this real quick.
Did you have to pay a cartel?
Yes.
How much?
Around 10,000.
10,000?
Yes. In fact, the American people is right, completely true. Who come into this country, they don't know. Well, okay, I'm good, but how if they're not good? How they killer, psychopath, else? No guarantee of that. Why, no security, no security check, no background check.
No security check, no background check. You're worrying about who's crossing the border?
Yes. Of course, me, because I'm like, people are not look normal.
Yeah, you heard it from his mouth. He paid $10,000 to the cartel to get in here. There was no security check, no background check, or anything. This is just another example of Joe Biden's weakness to try to erase our history and to place them in a position of power that they cannot be removed from. This will definitely tarnish the memory of these people who fought and died for the freedom of this country, and we cannot let this happen.
Yeah, and we didn't really even need this guy to tell us that this was happening at the border, because, I mean, it's painfully obvious when you see on TV every day the massive numbers of people that are coming through. Not that many people are making the trip to the border, because that's a dangerous trip these people take, and it takes them a long time to get there. There are not that many people traveling at one time unless they know it's a sure thing they're getting in. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, that's certainly what I would do if I was in their position. I wouldn't be going and making that trip if I didn't know it was pretty much a sure thing I was getting in. But this is the biggest disaster, I think, with the illegitimate Biden presidency. is the southern border. I mean, and there are many terrible examples we could go over, but I mean, it's the fact that it is happening at our mainland right now. These people are coming over by the thousands every single day, and we have no idea who these people are. We have no idea if they're terrorists. We've caught some that are on the terrorist watch list. Well, what about the ones that we haven't caught?
Right.
You know, that there could be sleeper cells right here in this country somewhere, in just about every state at this
No,
point.
they know there are.
Yeah, and there is. They've found that there is. So you have to wonder: are these people just waiting for the go ahead to
Right.
attack? You know,
Exactly.
that's a really scary thought, but that's a very real possibility right now, because Biden completely got rid of our southern border. He reversed everything that Trump did just because Trump did it. And he let all these people in and just finally started acknowledging, because it's an election year,
Right.
that we have a problem at the southern border. But instead, he's deflecting it to the Republicans, saying that the Republicans didn't want to put forward the border security bill, what they call the border security bill, that did nothing for border security, did nothing to shut down the border.
Nope.
In fact, it made it even easier for these illegal alien thugs to come into the country.
Yep.
And it disguised it as, oh, the Republicans don't want to do it because it's something Donald Trump could run on. This guy got us into this mess through executive order. He could get us out through executive order, but he doesn't want to do it because then he would have to admit that Trump was right.
Oh, no doubt. But everything they're doing is for votes. But now, how can you consider this guy a commander in chief of our military when the White House has to falsify paperwork because this so-called president has a senior moment from dementia every damn day you turn around, and they had a doctor's transcripts multiple times. They had to falsify them because of what he said, and how the doctor, when he did his physical and stuff, they falsified the doctor's transcripts to make him better than what he is. Now, the White House they doctored paperwork. They had their worthless spokesman, KJP, lie about everything Joe Biden has been doing for the 3.5, almost 4 years he's been in office, because he's lied to the American people. He's blumbled words every time he turns around. Nobody can understand what the hell he's saying. He's an embarrassment on the world stage. This is not a person that you want being the commander in chief of this great nation. He can't even read a teleprompter.
No, but
what's that?
No, but I will say I am a fan of the Packadakalaka or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's going to do wonders.
Oh yeah, this stuff is what we have to stop before our history is erased, and the people that we are celebrating and remembering today and have sacrificed to this country be tarnished because of Joe Biden and the Democrat Party.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Sorry, Charlie.
Okay, go ahead. Because this, if you watch and remember all the statues that were torn down, and because they're calling them racist, but they're not racist. They're part of our history. And I don't give a shit who you are. You can't erase history unless you don't teach it anymore and the kids don't know anything about it. That's the way, because the only thing they want in our schools now are pedophile and books for pedophilia.
And critical race theory, the 1619 Project, all that other woke bullshit.
Right. This is what they want to see in our schools, and he'll have our kindergarten kids and first, sixth, third. Any kids in grade school should not see these books. And this is what the Democrat Party, the party of pedophilia, is. And they're trying to erase everything that every man and woman and even children that have died in these wars. They are trying to diminish their importance. But we wouldn't have the freedoms today if it wasn't for all these people that have fought in these wars, even the wounded ones.
Absolutely.
And
back to the pedophilia thing real quick. You remember that, I think this was probably a year ago when the Epstein documents started coming out a little bit. It did say Bill Clinton liked them young, so
Oh yeah.
I mean, so it is the party of pedophilia and racism and Nazism and everything else, and Marxism would be the big one. You see that on full display right now. They're trying to turn this country into Venezuela. Essentially, we are heading down the same path as Venezuela. That's why this election is so important. It only stops if we get Donald Trump back in office, and you could tell that this is true just based on how these people are acting, how they're trying to take him out. Donald Trump will end all of this bullshit, and we will get our country back if we elect him. Doesn't mean that our work stops once Donald Trump gets in office, but that is necessary for us to take our country back.
Right, and that's what we have to work on, and that's why we're doing these videos and these live streams for you guys, so we get people to remember what it was like under Trump. Because you have all these idiot liberals out there that want to forget where they had more money in their paychecks. They had low gas prices and low taxes, low inflation. Everything was lower under Trump.
Yeah, I keep hearing from some of these people how great Bidenomics is. I have yet to see it for myself. I mean,
yeah, nobody will come on.
I mean, I go to the dollar store and get 3 items. I'm spending $25, and then I'm paying about $60 in gas every time. I mean, so and
yeah, try to fill my diesel up.
Yeah, and going to Walmart getting yeah, I could imagine going to Walmart and getting groceries for maybe 2 weeks is costing me $300. Yeah, so I fail to see how it's working. I mean, I'll take the guy with mean tweets that gave us low gas and affordable groceries and wasn't sending our jobs overseas and completely attacking our oil and gas industries. I mean, that's just me. How about you, Charlie?
Oh yeah, I think I would take him over.
You got
bumbling idiot.
Yeah, you got to think about that for a little bit.
Oh no, I was looking at something else too, but I just saw today. I think it was today or yesterday. I saw a McDonald's, and I can't remember where I saw it, but they showed the prices from when Trump was in office to now, and just on a what was it? I think a medium fry, it has went up 217%.
Oh, I believe it.
And a Big Mac went from like $5 to $8, like 7 something on the Big Mac, and a cheeseburger that was 99 cents is up to, what was it? I think it was almost $3 for a cheeseburger.
I believe it.
A hamburger is $2.59, just a plain hamburger.
That's ridiculous.
I like the plain hamburgers, and it was 99 cents back in the day.
Yeah,
and now it's almost $3.
Yeah,
so it's ridiculous.
Me and my girlfriend went there a couple months ago. We went to McDonald's. We just each, I don't remember what we got, but we each got a meal each.
What did it cost you?
$25. I left. I pulled out of the drive-through.
Oh shit!
I'm like, I'll go to Sheetz and pay that amount of money and get more.
No
food.
Doubt. You can go to a regular restaurant and eat better than that.
I'm like $25 for 2 freaking meals at McDonald's. There ain't no way, man. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
What are you guys seeing? You guys seeing the prices up in your area, restaurants and stuff going up too for wherever you guys are from?
Probably not as much as here in the communism of Pennsylvania, but still up by their standards.
Oh, our gas prices are still high.
Ridiculous.
I think I paid $4.69 or something like that for my diesel.
Yeah.
What are some of you guys paying for gas and diesel in your states that you're living in? Let us know in chat so we can compare prices between here. I know I can go to West Virginia for $3. It's like $1.10 cheaper in West Virginia, 25 miles away from us.
Yeah, that's why I said it's almost worth like doing everything down in West Virginia now. Like we went into Giant Eagle in Morgantown the last time we were down there. It was comparing prices on stuff. Just about everything I saw, it was like half price what it is here in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's almost worth driving down there to do everything, even if it is 25 miles or whatever. I mean, shit, it's
sometimes it is
crazy.
worth it.
It's crazy.
It is. Well, now I saw this video or this article here from Senator Blackburn. I like her because she's talking about veterans funding has been diverted to the illegal criminals. Not bad enough that we have veterans sleeping on the streets, not getting the health care they deserve, not getting the mental health they need. On top of these illegal criminals coming here, they're giving them health care, they're giving them food, they're giving them their debit card or thing, whatever it is, to get more food. They're getting everything given to them. And now we're going to take more money from the VAs, and we're going to give more stuff to these illegal immigrants.
Yeah. You want to know something else? It's also a kick in the ass, Charlie.
What's that?
So let's go back to when the vaccine rolled out. They were giving everybody the poisonous COVID jab for free, right?
And they knew it was poison.
Yep, absolutely. So they were giving it for free. So you could roll out a vaccine, what they call a vaccine anyway, give it to everybody for free, but we can't do anything about homeless veterans. We can't give them shelter. We can't give them food. Same with children. Children that are sleeping on the street. We can't do anything about that. And just look at the amount of money we send overseas, especially to Ukraine lately. You know what a dent we could have put in the hunger in our country? All the kids are going hungry. Same with the veterans. With the amount of money we've sent to Ukraine, it's unbelievable. We could have fed every homeless person in this country with that money, but instead we're sending it to the dictator Zelensky. It's just sickening.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely sickening.
Now I got one from Kurt. Said he's paying $2.87 for gas. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. We're paying almost double here for what he's paying for gas in the value state.
I was thinking, I wish we had that.
That is crazy. And Billy Bob, you're right. If they can sell a burger for 99 cents, it's not beef. You got that right.
That's true.
I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that the chicken nugget deal. When they showed us years and years ago, it was this pink crud that they rolled out and they formed into a nugget thing, and that was your nugget. It wasn't chicken. It was some kind of chemical processed goo that when they deep fried it, it turned white inside, and you thought you were eating chicken. It was like chicken byproduct or whatever it was. It was the nastiest thing you ever saw. I don't know if you guys can remember that or not.
Did you ever see that YouTube video? This is probably 10, 15 years ago or something like this. This guy bought a Big Mac 20 years prior.
Oh, yes.
And he held on to it for 20 years to see how much the meat would change.
Yes.
20 years later, that patty looked exactly the same as he bought it 20 years ago because of all the preservatives. That is freaking disgusting.
It was great. I saw that.
I do like their fries, though, I will say.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's horrible for you, but I do like the fries.
Yeah, that's a little cheaper than what I have it in my county, Billy Bob. He has $4.41 for diesel. Now, West Virginia is only like $3.69 or $3.49, something like that, when I went last week and got some. But the prices are ridiculous, and this is one reason I'd like to get Trump back in, because I bought a brand new diesel truck just a couple months ago, and now the gas prices are going back up again. It's ridiculous. So it cost me like $150 to fill my truck up now.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I mean I get good mileage on this one, but it's still ridiculous.
God, right? If you got shitty gas mileage, you'd be screwed.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, when I'm towing my fifth wheel, I do get shitty gas mileage. That's the bad part. Oh, it sucks. All right, that's all the time we have for you guys today. So please, again, check out our Rumble pages. Mine is a Country Conservative. Brendan's is the Brendan Sadler Show. Don't forget to follow us. Check out our videos. Give us that thumbs up. You know that. Share the videos with your friends and family and your liberal people that you even talk to or not. It don't matter. Send it to them anyways.
Just like I said, just see their heads explode. It'll make your day. Believe me, it's great watching liberals melt down.
Right. That's why we want you to do it.
It's one of the few pleasures I still have in life. It's great.
Exactly. So please help us out. Get our reach out to people, even those liberal idiots out there. Share them with everybody. So, but let me leave you with this on this Memorial Day as we gather with our families and our friends, and let us remember the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Their courage, their dedication, and unwavering commitment to our nation will forever be etched in our hearts as we enjoy the freedoms that they fought to protect. Let us honor their memory by living our lives with a purpose, gratitude, and deep appreciation for the liberties we hold dear. May their legacy inspire us to stand strong, united, and proud. Thank you, heroes, for your sacrifice. We will never forget. Thank you for joining us tonight on this Memorial Day episode of the Conservative Viewpoint. Join us tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another great episode of the Conservative Viewpoint. Don't forget to join us in chat. Let us know your feelings on the topics we go over and or whatever's going on around the country. So until tomorrow night, stay engaged, stay vigilant, and keep the conservative values alive. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. God bless.